Coming up, the friends of the man killed in the 8-vehicle pileup outside Grand Forks are now outpouring their love and support for him. And we are learning of a crash involving a motorcyclist possibly running from police in Moorhead. Plus, President Joe Biden speaks on ransomware attacks on U.S. businesses. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I am Nashay Taylor. Tonight we are learning of a possible motorcycle crash in Moorhead. The incident is believed to have happened near Aldi in the 800 block of 34th Street. We're also learning the motorcyclist may have been running from police. It is also believed the driver may have died from their injuries. Stay with Valley News Live as more details become available. And a man has died after drowning in the Red Lake River in Red Lake County. Red Lake County Sheriff Office says that a 911 call came in around 2:30 p.m. this afternoon regarding the drowning. Several witnesses at the scene claimed that a man in his 20s was walking in the river and disappeared under the water. Rescue crews searched the area before finding the man's body at approximately 4:45 p.m. this evening in 20 feet of water. Deputies say the drowning appears to be accidental, but the investigation is still ongoing. The victim is not being identified only until the notification of next of kin. Today, we have learned the name of the individual who was killed in yesterday's crash outside Grand Forks on Highway 2. The man was Dr. Eric Jane, a beloved veterinarian in the animal community. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling spoke with friends of Dr. Jane who say he left behind a legacy that is unmatched.
While the North Dakota Highway Patrol continues to unravel on what happened Friday morning that left one dead and numerous injured, friends of the man who died are left to pick up the pieces that Dr. Eric Jane left behind.
When I got the call, I just was very devastated. The others that I have been working with, him and I, have told me that we'll continue his legacy, that this clinic will happen. And I know that they'll help me do it, but it'll never be the same.
Dr. Jane has had a major impact on the veterinarian world, with his contributions spanning from Hawaii all the way to the southern states.
It just shows what a huge heart he had, right? I mean, all the people he's touched, all of us. He had the biggest heart, and he was the best human that most of us have ever met.
A lot of posts have been made on social media about what Dr. Jane meant to them and their vet clinics, many of them saying that he will be greatly missed.
I'm lost without him. He's seen my vision and he's seen my dream, and he was getting me there.
I mean, and he's connected us now. And it's awful that it was through his death that he's connected us all, but we're connected now and we're going to stay connected. And we just can't thank Dr. Eric Jane enough for everything that he's taught all of us.
Dr. Jane would go from clinic to clinic, always moving to help others, according to his friends. In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
The investigation is still being conducted by the North Dakota Highway Patrol into what caused the 8-vehicle pileup. And a man is now recovering from significant injuries after taking a joyride in his go-kart in the closed lanes of a construction zone near Emerado. Authorities say a 30-year-old man was riding in a homemade go-kart in the closed westbound lanes on Highway 2 just after 9 p.m. last night. The man drove the go-kart over a gap in the concrete, causing an impact and for him to be ejected from the vehicle. He was taken by ambulance to an area hospital where he was treated for significant injuries, but non-life-threatening. The driver is facing charges for driving on a closed road, exhibition driving, and driving without liability insurance. And a motorcycle collided with a deer in Hubbard County this morning. A 64-year-old man was traveling east along Highway 34 around 11 a.m. The vehicle made contact with the deer when the driver arrived near Elderberry Circle. The man was taken to a local hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. And meanwhile, tender dry conditions in Minnesota has the Department of Natural Resources and others very concerned about backyard 4th of July fireworks. Roughly 11% of the state is experiencing severe drought conditions. According to the National Integrated Drought Information System, 82% remains in a moderate drought, while the rest of the state is experiencing abnormally dry conditions. DNR officials say the dry conditions have already led to more wildfires than usual, with 1,400 blazes burning nearly 55 square miles of land across Minnesota. And an alliance of Minnesota's largest law enforcement groups has now sued the state to overturn a state law changing the standard for justified use of deadly force by police. The lawsuit claims the statute, which took effect back in March, violates an officer's rights to self-defense and unconstitutionally compels officers to forfeit their right of refusing to testify against themselves in deadly force cases. The law was rewritten following the death of George Floyd while in the custody of 4 former Minneapolis police officers. President Joe Biden says it's not clear yet who is behind a ransomware attack that has hit hundreds of American businesses. He says the initial thinking was it was not the Russian government, but they're not sure. The president made comments today while visiting a cherry orchard in Michigan to promote his infrastructure plan. The president was asked about the hacks and said he has directed U.S. intelligence agencies to investigate. He says the United States will respond if Russia is to blame. Later on Valley News Live at 10, the family of a 9-year-old who passed away last year gets to meet the recipient of one of his organs. But first, we're in for a hot 4th of July. Summer's up next to share how hot it will get.